I was meant to be filming a more positive video right now, but I'm kind of in the mood to look at something a bit spicy, so here we are. Hey Spuds, it's Jamie, welcome back to another video, first video channel. I don't know, but welcome either way. My hair is not looking green anymore. It still is though, in real life. Very weird. Anyway, today we're here to look at the
horrible, the terrible, the very spicy, wrong and annoying
homophobic memes, or anti-LGBT plus memes. They are the memes of the people who do not like LGBT plus people for the reasons that you're about to see, and they are very, very bizarre and very, very inaccurate. Just odd, bizarre, strange behavior. Don't know why this happens, but yes, there are still bigots out in the world, and those bigots sometimes decide to make very, very rubbish memes, and those are what we're looking at today. So are you ready? Let's go. I don't know what's up with my voice. For some reason I'm like, yes, let's be gruff today. It's not really a vibe for me. Not sure why I'm doing it. Parenting in 2024. Yes, the parent reading a storybook to two children whilst holding a shield to protect them from a rainbow. The rainbow must not touch the child. We all know how dangerous rainbows are. Oh my goodness, those things in the sky. Ah, help me. I assume that this rainbow is meant to symbolize the LGBT plus community. Is that the devil inside the rainbow? It does kind of look a bit devilish. Yes, we must protect the children from
the devil rainbow.
Yes, this is one of just the very, very strange things that some homophobes think, is that kids knowing that LGBT plus people exist is inherently inappropriate or inherently dangerous, and like rainbows and anything gay and anything pro LGBT plus is bad for kids. It's very strange. I think it's because homophobes see it as something that is just age inappropriate for children, when there are elements of any kind of relationship and identity that are appropriate and elements that are inappropriate depending on age. Just like there are elements of cis straight relationships and people being cis and straight that kids shouldn't learn about too young. It's the same thing. But being LGBT plus is not inherently inappropriate for children to learn about. Does that make sense? I'm sure we can all guess what I'm talking about that is inappropriate regardless of identity and orientation for kids of certain ages to learn about. Oh, it is Fred from Scooby-Doo unmasking the LGBT plus with the progress flag that has the intersex aspect in it as well. And when they unmask the LGBT plus community, I'm assuming they're saying, what do they find? Ah, yes, good old narcissism. Who'd have guessed it? Being LGBT plus also apparently makes you a narcissist. This one baffles me as to how that connection has been made, because it seems to be some kind of connection between
you're LGBT plus. That must mean you are so self-absorbed to the point of not caring about others. I'm therefore going to label you narcissistic.
First meme we've seen, bigots think that LGBT plus topics are inherently inappropriate for children. Second one we've seen, bigots think that LGBT plus people are inherently narcissistic. You can't be LGBT plus without being a narcissist. I would very strongly argue against this. All the narcissists I know are not LGBT plus. I'm not saying that LGBT plus people can't also be narcissists, but there is not a link between the two things. Just some people are and some people aren't. Brokeback Mountain was released 18 years ago. That is quite a long time ago. I was 12. Somebody's replied going, greatest non-woke movie of all time on homosexual love. Greatest non-woke movie. What are they saying? Oh,
this is when gay representation in movies was acceptable, because it was none of that woke bullshit.
Right. What is that? Because they rode horses and were cowboys, and I think they had guns. I don't remember. It's been a long time since I've seen this movie, but they were like
manly men
who just happened to be gay. Therefore, this is acceptable because they meet our requirements of masculinity. I'm very intrigued by this stance, because I would bet that 18 years ago, the people who now are saying like, okay, Brokeback Mountain is like acceptable homosexuality on our screens, I bet you 18 years ago they were like,
oh, what is this woke shit? Why is this being shoved down our throats?
They're just like,
hey, look, I'm cool. I'm not homophobic.
Even though I secretly am.
But I'm not homophobic because I accept Brokeback Mountain. I just don't accept any of this new age shit.
How interesting. Sorry, I don't know if it's coming across. I am in a little bit of a mood. Not a bad mood. Bad mood? No, just maybe a spicy mood. I'm feeling like I want to call out some bullshit right now. That's the mood I'm in. Show me your war face. Now drop and give me 20 pronouns. That's Biden shouting at someone wearing a hat saying woke US military, putting on lipstick, potential boobage going on, and then a pride version of the flag of the United States of America. Sure, show me your war face. Drop and give me 20 pronouns. Like, drop and do press-ups while saying 20 pronouns? Oh, I feel like this is all just my assumption from other things I've seen as well. I feel like this type of meme comes from this assumption of, how are all these like LGBT plus snowflakes gonna feel when they're drafted, or like they're not the ones serving in the military, and if they were, look at the shit show that we'd have. Yeah. Also, it is the transphobes and the bigots who are far more obsessed with pronouns than LGBT plus people. This shouting of like, show me your war face, now dropping, it wouldn't be 20 pronouns because I don't like pronouns, but that kind of aggression and anger, that feels like quite projectiony. That's the side that I've seen being very like, oh, pronouns, no. Another one, maybe I've seen this before. Can we do homophobic memes without showing a stupid comparison of light bulbs, seat belts, planes, the wings on planes, car wheels, just anything? The homophobes are like, haha, gay people, I got you. You don't work, you're not natural because this very man-made thing does not work in the way that you get jiggy, or that we assume you do. Because a light bulb goes into a light fitting, that is the only correct way to therefore be a human. It's so bizarre because it is that argument of, hey, look at this very unnatural man-made thing, man-invented thing, and we invented how this works, blah, blah, blah. I'm now going to compare it and use it as a reason to explain why being gay is unnatural. Make it make sense. How does that work? It doesn't. It really doesn't. What third grade children in China are learning? What third grade children in India are learning? Have they just gone, in China, kids are great at maths, and in India, kids are great at science? Are they trying to stereotype here? And also, what third grade child anywhere is learning this? This is complicated. What third grade children in the United States are learning that men can have babies, people can be in a relationship that looks like an interracial relationship, potentially same gender, that equals trans. I mean, that equation does not make any kind of sense. I think somebody skipped algebra. I don't see where third grade children are learning the above. That looks very, very complicated. That looks more like, secondary school level chemistry in the bottom, if not beyond. I don't know, it's been a long time since I've done it. Definitely wasn't third grade though. And then all that kids in primary school, like young age kids in the United States, are learning about is gender and sexuality. Absolutely. They are so terrified, and by they I mean bigots, that a tiny bit of representation in their head suddenly means like world domination by LGBT plus people. Like, oh my god, there's age appropriate elements of LGBT plus topics taught in schools now and on curriculums. That means that's all children are learning about, and it's so inappropriate. No, it just means it's like an extra thing because LGBT plus people exist, and it's okay for kids to know that. So they are learning that alongside their mathematics and sciences. But granted, probably not to this level, but I don't know what child other than a genius is learning these things to this level in third grade. Wow. If you aren't very fond of LGBT plus flag and trans flag people, then like this comment, check out my website. We're going to scrub it out, but it's something to do with based attire, but I won't give the full address because I don't want to give them attention. Based attire people. I feel like that tells you everything you need to know about this comment. Another pride flag in a game. This is so annoying. Or this is annoying. It's not so annoying. It's just annoying. I wonder what game that is. It's not a big deal, says the crying person with various different logos on their t-shirt, probably things that this other person does not support. So will you be okay if I use mods to replace the pride flags with Confederate ones? No, that's too offensive. I mean, it's because it literally is. Like, there is nothing wrong with the pride flag. The LGBT plus flag is not offensive. Being LGBT plus is not offensive. There's nothing wrong with it. So saying that it shouldn't be in games and it shouldn't be seen implies that there is something wrong with that, and that is wrong in itself. The Confederate flag, however, it's commonly used as a symbol of white supremacists and has been used as a symbol of oppression of various groups that oppose civil rights. I did a quick Google so I could articulate this properly. You know when you know something but you don't know exactly the words to use? But this is how the Confederate flag is being described as being used. It is genuinely offensive. The use of it is genuinely problematic and hateful in many instances, whereas the LGBT plus flag is not. There's a big difference between those two things, and you cannot conflate them. And it's not just because one flag is okay, all flags are okay. No, it's contextually dependent. There is nothing wrong with being LGBT plus. There is nothing wrong with displaying a pride flag. That is why it is okay to have the pride flag in a game, whereas it would be offensive for the Confederate one to be in, unless it was like specifically part of the game context, that there was a narrative that included the Confederate flag. But if it was just placed as like a kind of pride type symbol, then no. You have to respect the opinion of others. I don't understand. Are they saying that because of this person's appearance and the fact that they have a pride flag on their chest, and I'm not sure what that symbol says, that's like the no symbol, but so they're saying that because of this person's appearance and potentially their LGBT plus identity, they are not deserving of respect in terms of their opinions. That's not even trying to be cleverly homophobic, that's just being an arsehole. The rainbow was meant for the sky, not for your mental illness. Was it meant for the sky? I mean, nobody created it and went, the intention of this rainbow is for the sky. I gift the rainbow to the sky. I mean, maybe some people would believe that's not my personal belief, but like, no person sat down and was like, I am making the rainbow for the intention of the sky. And also, being LGBT plus is not a mental illness. That is a very important distinction to make, a very important thing to understand. LGBT cringe / taking L's. I'm sure this is a wonderful, wonderful site. Let's see if the majority support LGBT. Do you support LGBT? Yes, 16%. No, 84%, with 2,000 votes. So on this page, that I imagine is very curated and has become a total echo chamber little bubble for homophobes, LGBT cringe, they have asked, do you support LGBT? And we'll probably take this as a, hey, look, a majority of people don't support LGBT plus people. That's not how surveys work. It's like, yeah, sure. If I asked a bunch of 4-year-olds if they believed Santa Claus existed, I could probably then pretend to conclude that a majority of people believe that Santa Claus exists. Most people in the world think Santa exists based on this sample that I took. It's not a random sample. You've chosen a very curated sample of people who are already mostly in line with your viewpoint. The 16% are probably people who are allies or LGBT plus themselves who follow or frequent the page to laugh at what is being posted or have been sent this to be like, hey, we should help the votes here a little bit because it's in an echo chamber of hate. The Babylon Bee. Satan asks LGBTQ community to please tone it down a bit. I'm sorry that you don't like colour. Is the idea meant to be that Satan is like the one on board with LGBT plus stuff and like involved in it and is like bad? What happened there? I sound like a sheep. But it's terrible when even Satan asks the LGBTQ plus community to tone it down a bit. That's when we really know it's gone too far. This is just so weird. What? I don't know what the Babylon Bee is. Fake news. Okay, it's like the Onion. Wow. I've seen this before. It's normally an umbrella that is protecting the bigoted cis-hets from the rainbow, protecting their children from the rainbow. There's a couple drips going out either side. That kid on the right looks very dangerously close to that orange and red drip coming down. They're not doing a very good job at protecting, huh? They're mostly just protecting the parents, which is very ironic. The setup of this, that it's the parents who are visually shown as being the most sheltered and protected from what they fear, because they are the ones setting up this like false necessity for protection from something that they just don't understand. And it's their kids that are kind of on the edge of this protection that could potentially branch out away from the parents' beliefs. Sorry, I wasn't doing that to be Jesus. I was doing that to be branching out as the kids leaving the protection of the cross, protection from the rainbow. Oh my God, how awful is it to be colourful? A burning pride flag. We don't like that. Hope is kindled. I mean, they've used a meme to be pro-homophobia, and they've used Ian McKellen.
You are the gay messiah.
Why did they think that that was a good idea? Me. The B in LGBT means there are only two genders. LGBT community. Screams in gay. How? Bisexuality is commonly accepted as indicating attraction to two or more genders, and they do not have to be the same two genders as everybody else. I don't really understand how the fact that there's a B and LGBT means there's only two genders. I don't understand what that means. Like, I don't understand how they've drawn that connection. I feel like somebody wrote that down and created this meme and was like, oh, I'm so clever. I've figured it out. I know
just how to catch out those transes with their 74 genders. Oh, yes.
It's bisexuality. And then not thought about it. They've just gone bi two. Yes, that must mean there's only two genders. We will forget about the true meaning of bisexuality and the flexibility within it, and also the fact that pansexual exists and other things. Yes, no. None of that matters. It does not support our cause, therefore we will ignore it. The fact that this flag is flying over government buildings, embassies and cultural institutions suggests you're not oppressed, you're celebrated. Yes, because we all know that's how flags work. I think there's the point being forgotten that the reason why there is a necessity to represent the LGBT plus flag in the first place in any of these places is because there is discrimination, because there is oppression. It wouldn't need to be flown if there wasn't a need for it to be flown, if that makes sense. It wouldn't require that. And again, flags and displaying of flags is very contextual to the environment, to the flag, to what's happening. Just because a flag is on display does not mean that equal rights have been achieved. That is a very, very odd thing to assume. Young Jock is unsure about performing at LGBTQ plus events, wouldn't want men looking at him with lustful eyes. Rapper Young Jock says that he wouldn't take $250,000 to perform at an LGBT event because he's not comfortable with that lifestyle, or men looking at him with lustful eyes. Wow. I mean, that's a lot of money to turn down, but that event saved themselves some money. That would have been a bad investment. I mean, it's just bizarre to not be comfortable with a lifestyle that doesn't impact you. It literally has no impact on him. Also, gay men are not just at LGBT plus specific events. They could be anywhere. Any gay man at any time could see you and look at you with lustful eyes. And it's not just gay men, it's just any man who is not straight. Not to erase bisexuality and erase myself, personally would not look at him with lustful eyes. I feel like homophobia is just an instant, very unattractive point in people. It's the whole I'm not going to get changed in the locker room if there's a gay or bisexual man getting changed in there because he's going to check me out. And it's like, do not think that highly of yourself. Just because somebody is not straight does not mean that they are instantly attracted to everybody who is the same gender as themselves. Is a very odd take, and I see it's so common, and so often people don't even realize that it's coming from a place of homophobia. It's just this assumption. It's very, very bizarre, but cool. Don't take the money. They shouldn't be giving you money if you have that attitude, so great. I think that worked all round. Democrats with a can of LGBT plus stuff, force feeding first graders. Of course they are. Wow. Sure, Jan. I mean, I really feel like it would be better if the Democrats and LGBT plus stuff was changed to things like religious elements in certain groups, because I think the people who are like, hey, this LGBT plus stuff is shoved down our throats and down the throats of our children, it's not fair. It's very much often said by people who are part of communities themselves that actually shove things down people's throats. I don't think any LGBT plus person has ever knocked on a stranger's door or gone around knocking on doors in the neighborhood and gone, hello, can I tell you about the benefits of being gay? No. But multiple times in just my life, let alone all the other people on the planet, I have had the knock on the door from people trying to make me religious and convert me to their religion. I'm in my home. There is no predetermined expectation of a curriculum in my house or what would be brought upon me other than what I choose to bring into it. That is when it is being shoved down somebody's throat. Have meetups, have groups, have organizations, have spaces to congregate as a group of people who share a certain belief. Cool. And we learn about religion in schools. That is part of the curriculum as well. We learn about different religious beliefs. So why is it that when LGBT plus people do nothing but live their lives and push for equal rights, which are very deserved, and it's been introduced within certain curriculums in certain countries in certain schools for certain ages in a very age appropriate way, why is that then shoving it down people's throats when there are other elements, and I'm just using religion as an example. It's not the only one, and this is not to be disrespectful to people with religious beliefs. It's just specifically pointing out the fact that often this comes from a point of like not recognizing that it not being wrong that something is taught in a school and to a certain age, it's just seen as bad because it's LGBT plus. If we made this into a discussion around religion, the people who make this kind of meme would not see it as being shoved down kids' throats or as a bad thing, despite the fact that people attempt to convert others to their religion by literally coming to their houses and dropping leaflets and notes and speaking in person and actively trying to make people be in part of their religion. LGBT plus people don't do that. And that religion has been taught in schools for a really, really long time, and nobody's ever said anything about it potentially being like not what everybody wants to learn about, or not what every parent may want their children to learn about. It's just been an accepted thing. But no, so some first steps for introducing LGBT plus topics into school curriculums, no. Vastly inappropriate, wildly wrong, don't do it. Very rainbow, so clearly LGBT plus person with a very stretchy neck. Maybe this is Mrs. Incredible. Going across a rainbow area into church and saying to somebody in church, stop oppressing me. Doesn't happen though, does it? No, it doesn't happen. I don't think religion is in any way an excuse to oppress LGBT plus people. So I am guarded when I find out that people are very religious, because it is the most common thing used towards me to excuse transphobia in others, and a reason to be transphobic towards me and not accept me and just be an arsehole towards me, basically. People are like, well, my religion says I'm allowed to do this and you are not valid. And I'm like, thanks. But I don't go seek those people out, and LGBT plus people don't either. It's a general stance of like, hey, please don't use your religion to be bigoted against me. It does not give you an excuse. And actually, this is very much the other way round. If this ever occurs, it's just like with the last meme. It's the other way round that this happens, and not everybody, not all the time, but if anyone was to go into someone else's face without invitation, without a need to, and just be horrible or disrespectful, it would be people using their religion to be homophobic or transphobic, not LGBT plus people shouting at religious people for no reason. I will call out bigotry done in the name of religion, but I will not sit there and go, all religious people are bigots, because they're not. Somewhere between 1959, why 1959 specifically, and 2022, things went terribly wrong. Oh dear, men no longer dress like cowboys. They instead wear colourful t-shirts and high-waist shorts. What a problem. Things are terribly, terribly wrong. If we go back a bit more, I mean, this is also very much like a Western perspective of clothes and like masculinity, femininity in clothing and behaviour. But if we go back to 1800s men's fashion, let's just do that. The Rococo Baroque Victorian outfit. These are quite femme, according to modern day stereotypes and standards. It's like this long jacket, frilly sleeves, a little frilly bow here, a wig. Dude, you could make a meme that was somewhere between 1829 and 1959 things went terribly wrong, and have the more nowadays seen as stereotypically feminine dressed man on the left from before, and the more kind of modern compared to the 1800s dressed man being more masculine on the right, and that being where something went wrong. Why are we saying that something went wrong with where people are at today with self-expression? Why didn't it go wrong in the 50s? So excited about the new Indiana Jones game. We have the opportunity to tell Indiana Jones to modern audiences, says somebody wearing a t-shirt with a rainbow on it. It's over.
Oh, Indiana Jones, the epitome of masculine, manly men, has been taken over by the woke people of the world. Oh no, it's over. We can no longer...
Is it a game? Yes.
We can no longer play Indiana Jones because unfortunately that game and the developers now recognise that times have changed. And I don't want to accept that times have changed because I'm a bigot.
Straight pride. I've seen this before, but I think it needs an honourable mention. Straight pride. It's natural. It's worked since the beginning of humanity, and you can make babies. Oh my god. I love how it's like straight pride. Straight pride is natural. Straight pride has worked since the beginning of time, and straight pride makes babies. I think it's just meant to be like being straight. Yes. How wonderful. Do straight people who can't have babies get their straight cards revoked? Curious. LGBT haters. Little arrow. I miss the days when a rainbow was just colours. If the LGBTQ ruined your rainbow, I miss the days when a rainbow was just colours. Colours in the sky. I mean, Jesus. Has it ever just been colours though? I thought that the rainbow in its like 7 colour form was like quite a religious thing. There's a lot to do with rainbows and religion and culture and mythology and all of this stuff throughout years and years. It has never just been colours. I feel like it's always symbolised something. And plus, the LGBT plus rainbow, the flag, does not have the same number of colours in it. It's different thing. So the rainbow in the sky can still just be the rainbow in the sky to the bigots. I don't know why they're getting so stressed about it. After aborting 10 girls from our surrogate, we finally have a boy. Oh, good lord. There is a person in a hospital bed holding a bag of money and a crying baby trying to reach out to them. So I'm assuming that that is the surrogate. And then the 2 guys kissing whilst holding the baby. And then they say, only one more thing to do. And suddenly the happy surrogate with the money looks worried and the baby looks very concerned and the 2 dads look very happy. Meet our 1-hour-old trans newborn. Oh, this is such a wild ride. This 4-frame comic encapsulates so many elements of bigotry. It's homophobic, it's anti-abortion, it's transphobic. It's just so wrong on so many levels. Jesus Christ. I feel like the quality of homophobic memes and cartoons is progressively getting worse and worse and worse. Like the toxicity and the hostility and just like the level of hatred in them that people are feeling more and more comfortable with getting away with is increasing. I feel like people are being significantly more openly, despicably hateful and disrespectful through like mediums like this than they were before. Like it'd kind of be like subtly homophobic or transphobic in the themes, and now it's just outright, yeah, like these are all the things that we hate because we're bigots. What do I do now? Sorry, I'm don't know what happened. Just do what they taught you in college. LGBT plus stuff. I thought they were teaching this to like 1st and 3rd graders. Why is it waited all the way till college? Get your story straight. When are people being taught about this stuff? Yeah, I can confirm in college all I learnt about was LGBT plus stuff. I may have done a psychology degree, master's and a PhD, but actually my brain is just entirely filled with LGBT plus. That's it. That's all I know. If you ask me how to change a tire, I don't know. And not just because I don't know, but it's because there's too much space being taken up with gay trans thoughts and other LGBT plus thoughts. Just all of them. They're in there all the time. Yeah. Warning, God draws a line on gay marriage. Read Romans blah, blah, blah. Woe to those who cross it. Let's all jump over the line. That was said in the 90s. Celebrate the modern day. A rainbow, a pride parade. I see nothing wrong with that image. Public opinion. Woke. Modern day. Public opinion is killing woke thoughts. I don't... What they're trying to say with that one. And then the future.
Welcome to hell.
Does that say hell or help? The heel here. Let's just go with hell. They are the gates of hell. That line being crossed has meant hell. Cool. That's really good information to know. I will use that in my life. Why do we keep doing this? Showing LGBT plus and diversity within cartoons. Oh, who the hell knows? Maybe it's because there's nothing wrong with being LGBT plus or diverse in some way, and it's okay for kids to learn about that. I don't know, the wild thought there, but it might just be true, huh? Mommy, look, healthy masculinity. The mum is wearing a progress flag t-shirt. The little kid is pointing towards, isn't that like a meme of something to do with masculinity that's not exactly healthy? I'm not sure. No, don't look, Ricky. I don't want you to be influenced by toxic mask. Oh no. Ricky! It's too late, mother. I'm a based giga chad now. Wait, so are they trying to say that that is healthy masculinity or toxic masculinity? I mean, just based on this short comic, it looks more veering towards toxic masculinity. Oh no, how dare the LGBT plus people and allies be against toxic masculinity. Ricky is now a Giga Chad. Please don't go woke, please. Watching a new TV show hoping it doesn't get woke. First half of the series. Second half, someone dyed their hair. What I don't understand is people have been expressing themselves in alternative ways for much longer than this whole concept of like wokeness and it being intrinsically tied to being LGBT+. People can be alternative and be cis and straight. There's probably some form of correlation or like more likelihood, but it's not like a given that being alternative means you're LGBT+ at all in any way, shape or form. So the implication that like, you know, being woke is being alternative, like dyeing your hair, having piercings, the way you dress. People dressed like this when I was a child, like 20 years ago. This was common. I mean, I don't think people were incredibly friendly about it back then, but it wasn't tied to this like wokeness concept. It's really bizarre. And like the LGBT+ community. And someone's commented going, this is how I felt with the slur that I'm going to cover and not say in The Last of Us. I mean, not that either character from The Last of Us looks like the person in the second half of this meme. I'm actually tired. The homophobia has drained my energy levels. Oh, that was the last one. That was it. I'm so glad because my eyes are actually feeling heavy with the level of bigotry in these memes, but I'm glad we could call some of them out. They all just have like really similar themes, and it's just generally people being afraid of anything that's different, people not wanting to adjust their worldview in line with how society is changing, and people thinking that being LGBT+ is inherently linked to negative things, such as being narcissistic or such as influencing children in the wrong way. Like, it's a very bizarre attitude to have, and I think it often just highlights how little people know about the LGBT+ community and about being LGBT+. If you knew something, if you knew anything, if you had any like ounce of compassion about it, you would not be making these memes. So I think these are just people who are very happily living life with their heads up their asses, living in the land of bigotry with no willingness to learn about other people's life experiences and be compassionate towards that. So they make memes instead, being assholes. And yeah, that was it for this video. Let me know what you think. Leave your comments down below. Think about liking and subscribing if you want to, but no pressure. You do whatever you want. And yeah, hopefully I'll see you next time. I normally just say I'll see you next time. Do you know what? I will see you next time. I hope you tune in for the next video. And thank you for watching this one. Much love. Bye.